Deny, deny, deny. Oh, god dang on winch.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Married to Medicine. Season 5 episode, I'm sick of Mariah's goddamn ass. Anyway, so we right back where we left off at Contessa's house at the little 90s party, and it's the showdown, Heavenly versus Mariah. And again, I'm tired at this point. I've had it with her. I've had it. Deny, deny, deny. I didn't do this, and I don't know this, and I don't know what y'all are mad for. I don't know. Just shut up. Just shut up. I'm just sick of it. Just shut up. She's going on and on and on and on and on. You know, she's never to blame for anything. Then the next thing you know, Jackie takes Heavenly over there. She's talking to Heavenly, you know, and Heavenly's like, I'm trying, but this bitch, she just never owns up to her shit. And she don't. She's always in victim mode. And y'all know how I feel about a bitch in victim mode. I can't stand it. I can't stand a bitch that's always a victim. Irritating ass whore. Always is a victim. Then we got Toya. Now you caping for her. Well, she did apologize when we was in New Orleans. It doesn't matter. That apology was some bullshit. The apology was this. I've already forgiven the ladies for what they did to me. And I'm hoping that they've forgiven me. Had you never did anything, bitch, nobody would have anything to forgive you for. Fuck her. She's ridiculous. And Toya's ridiculous sitting around caping for her. Then they go down to the bathroom and Toya, the Lord opened the sky and ended the party. It starts storming and Contessa was like, y'all go get out of my house, honey. That's enough. Bye, y'all. Because right before they went to the bathroom, Mariah got into it with Simone. Said, Simone, you started it. Okay, well, yeah, I did. And like Simone told her, yeah, you talking about you forgave us, but did you even find out that we forgive you? Like, bitch, you're ridiculous. Anyway, Toya's caping for her. They're in the bathroom. When they're leaving the party, Toya's like, she was literally like in the bathroom crying. No, bitch. What we saw was her on the camera talking shit. She was in the bathroom talking shit. And if she was crying, it was because she was mad. Sitting there talking shit. And then what was all that old bullshit? Later on, Simone and her and Mariah get together so they could work out whatever their little issue was. They had lunch, and she's still being shady. And then said, this was the shit that I said, I'm done. I am done. I'm done arguing with folks over the comments about it. We all know where I stand. I don't do Mariah. I think Mariah is absolutely ridiculous. And all those who have such an issue with me feeling how I feel about Mariah can take Mariah and stick her up their ass. How about that? That's how I feel about it, and I'm done with it. She's sitting over there. When that bitch sat there and said, I planned on apologizing to Heavenly at the pool party at Contessa's house, but I was waiting until after she apologized to my mother. You know what? All of this, somebody got to kiss your ass 4 different times before you open up and say, okay. Ain't nobody got to do all that. I got to apologize to you. I got to apologize to your mama, and then you're going to think about apologizing to me. No, bitch. How about you go jump in a lake? That dirty lake. You know, your sister, go jump in that bitch. Anyway, ain't nobody got time for Mariah, Frozen Lake, or Shoot Lucy. Fuck them 3 bitches. Ain't nobody got time for them. Anyway, moving the fuck on. Dr. Scott sat his ass down with Contessa and put that thing down and said, listen, this is all fucking ridiculous. All of what y'all been doing prior to this, you and Renee, yeah, okay, whatever. But we're going to have to figure out what we need to do for our family that doesn't involve Renee, because the bitch is out of order. She's out of order. And then they lead on to say she's been working for them for 10 years. And she done quit and done been fired 92 different times. And then then she comes back the next day like nothing is. Fuck that. He told her, listen, this is too far. She's gone too far. I've had enough. We will figure something else out, because she has crossed the line. And I was all here for it. Like I said, we don't have to see Miss Renee's bald-headed ass anymore. She is ridiculous. Donnell need to get his mammy, and he ought to have been ashamed to even let her bring her ass on TV clowning the way she did. She had to get her goddamn ass somewhere and sit down. So her husband ain't having it, and that was that. So later on, they were doing some things. They were dealing with, handling their stuff without a nanny, and it just is too much. It's not really working out. So we're going to have to see later how they're going to actually handle it. Are they going to bring Miss Renee's bald-headed ass back, or are they going to hire a new nanny? Because that's what you need to do. You need to hire a new nanny and leave bald-headed Jane at home. And, Contessa got all on her feelings when Layla, her baby girl, was on the phone when her daddy picked her up from the school. She's on the phone, and Contessa was feeling really guilty. Child, we all have gone through that when returning to work after we have small children that we've been home with. Been there, done that. And you feel guilty, but goddamn it, you got to get it done. They need to hire a new nanny. They do not need to hire Miss Renee back. And I know they're comfortable with her, but that behavior, she's way too comfortable with them. She didn't take her bald-headed ass on. She did go ahead on to be on Social Security, drink her booze, and fall asleep on her couch watching the People's Court. That's what she needed to do, and don't nobody need to be bothered with her ass. And she definitely don't need to bring her ass back up on this television. Anyway, moving on. Jackie and Curtis. That old bastard is sitting around, and he's just pitiful. He's pitiful, and you can actually see it in him. He really wants to come back home. He really wants his wife back. He really wants to make it work. And Jackie's going to work it out with him, I believe. And I believe after a while, she's going to let him come on back home. And that's fine. I'll respect that, because that's what Jackie wants to do. But, oh, fuck him, honey. Oh, sorry bastard. Child. Maybe he'll change. Maybe, because I think that he definitely has seen the error in his ways. And I think he got a taste of, what it's really like to be without Jackie. Like, she ain't all bad. You had limited time with her, but now you want that little bit of time back. They say watch what you ask for, because you just might get it, and you don't miss the water until the goddamn well is dry. So much for that. Anyway, moving on. Henrietta came in this week and got her pap smear. And we went through the process with her. Again, we got to see Simone in her bedside manner. Everything was really, really cool. It went off without a hitch, and I think Henrietta's going to be all right. So that was cool. That was good to see. It's always good to see them at work. Speaking of Simone and Cecil actually had a decent sit down. And they actually worked through one of the large issues, which was the $25,000 investment that Cecil made without talking to Simone. They weren't yelling and screaming at each other. They both talked about their discontent with what had happened, and nobody got up and walked away. It was just good communication, and it had a happy ending. Once he explained himself as to why he did it, she told him why. It's really crazy. Like, he's trying to create a buffer in case his job folds, because he has this thing where he thinks his job's going to fold, and he's trying to create a buffer and have something else in place. And she told him, it's just really sad that you even think that we wouldn't be able to make it if, I had to take care of everything. I would just take care of everything. You would do it for me. I would do it for you. I'm like, that's all you need to hear. Fixed. See how that fixed? Stop yelling at each other with that old drunk shit, and everything fixed itself. So, yeah, that's the Cecil and Simone that I like. Right there. Heavenly ended up taking Alora over to see Miss Jan. If y'all remember Miss Jan she's a real popular vocal coach. Work with a lot of top-notch people. Usher, Sierra, and a bunch of other people. So a lot of she's done a lot of like country artists and stuff like that. We seen her the first time on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's the person that was bold enough to tell Kim Zolciak, bitch, you can't sing and you don't know what you're doing, bitch. Have a seat. So I've been liking Miss Jan all along because fuck Kim Zolciak. You know, I can't stand her. Anyway, so she was working with Allura. And I'm just going to say hats off to Heavenly for actually being able to sit down and back off. She did a good job backing off. You know, she's always on top of and in something, and you don't know nothing about this. So let Miss Jan do her job, and she did. She did a good job at that, and that was good. And I think Allura's going to be fine. I think she got some talent. You know, once Jan's going to work with her, there's some good points to her, and I think she will turn out to be all right. And Heavenly, stay the fuck out of it. Stay out of it. Stay out of the process. You go clean somebody's teeth. Don't worry about this singing thing because you don't know what you're talking about. Sat down. Okay, next we got Orca and Toya, because that's exactly who Eugene looked like laying up on that bed. You see the thumbnail. He looked like Orca, and it was you could tell he was uncomfortable with the scene of her basically trying to seduce him. You could tell he was uncomfortable with the scene, and I was even more uncomfortable having to watch the shit. Horrible, but it's what they need. It's what they needed. Moving on. Okay, Quad and Gregory. All right, so Quad and Gregory get together. They are part of a marital focus group. There are 3 couples. And let me correct a mistake that I made last week, which is Mark. Old fine-ass Mark from last week. Whew. Mark is not, because I thought, you know, that's how we don't really see contestant's husband. So I thought that was contestant's husband. That's not contestant's husband. That is not him. That is not Dr. Scott. It's Mark. Mark actually has a whole wife, very pretty woman. He's part of the marital focus group. And I'm thinking, is Mark some type of psychologist? Because the way he moves, the way he moves made me think he must be a psychologist of some sort as well. But they're all, you know, there's three couples. Quad and Gregory are one of them. And they basically do this whole focus group. And they kind of help each other. They meet up and they eat and everything at each other's houses. And they kind of help each other work through things that they have. So it's like a group counseling amongst themselves. And it's like a tight-knit group. And Quad talked about how comfortable she is. You know, don't matter what it is, that she's comfortable with that group and they know none of the stuff ever leaves out of that room. And all of that. So as soon as they sat down, Eugene got a phone call. Gregory got a phone call. And Quad got irritated right away. She got irritated and she started to go in. And once he came back, that it just, you know, started that same old argument. And I'm going to have to say this. Y'all know I love Quad, but I'm sick of that motherfucking argument. I'm sick of it. I understand what she's saying, but it's like, it's just getting old. What are we going to do about it? We can't keep running into this brick wall. You keep running into the brick wall, running into the brick wall, running into the brick wall. At what point are you either going to jump over the wall or get the fuck out of the car before it hits the wall? Like, seriously, come on. So today was the day. And all the corrections actually came from old fine-ass Mark. He was like, okay, stop. He stopped Quad. Stop. Because you just done, you know, she was getting ready to go. She was on it, baby. She was ready to go. I said, girl, she pushed that piece of hair back behind her ears. She was ready to go. I said, don't you start that shit. And don't you start that crying. And then don't he start hollering and run off because I'm all sick of that. Sick of seeing that. So I know y'all sick of living through it. A lot of their truth came out. Mark broke that shit down. And Gregory actually got to start speaking. And when he spoke his truth, Gregory has some different issues that him and Quad obviously have never addressed. A lot of the shit is shit that you keep hearing. We've been 5 seasons on here hearing people and, us, people talking. I don't say it, but people always say, she married him for his money. She married him for his money. She married him for his money. And when it got down deep in it, I seen that from him. Like he felt as though, somebody's after his money. And, I'm very much that way. And so is my mother. We have this thing, like, I could be the most generous person to you. Absolutely generous. Up until the point that I feel as though you're using me. If I feel as though you're using me, I will cut it off, and I will cut you off. And then I will really give you something. You will really feel my wrath at the point that I feel as though you're trying to use me or you have used me. We're good until the point that I feel used. And that is a fucking problem. And that's what I saw with Gregory. I think somewhere along the way, I think that he didn't actually believe it at one point. When it was getting together with her and them starting their bond and their union. And I think somewhere down the line, he has bought into this thing of maybe Quad actually got with me for the things that I had. I think he bought into the hype. And it seems as though he fucking resents her for it. And when Mark said, y'all ain't friends no more. Bingo. It was like right there. If you look back at past seasons, at their interaction, and you look at their interaction now, they ain't friends. They're a married couple, but they're not friends. They're not friends. And it seems as though he kind of resents her for whatever that is he bought into. Now, this is the thing with my Quad that I love so much. The burden actually falls on her because, yes, I understand you feel like you're not getting this and you're not getting that. And you're not feeling love. And I believe that it's all because of this shit that he bought into. And I am not saying, so don't y'all start going there with this, that she married him for the money. I didn't say that. I did not say that. I said that somewhere down the line, I believe that Gregory bought into what was being said. I think he bought into that feeling. And the burden falls on Quad to bring him back out. The burden is going to fall on Quad to make him know that you are not here for the things that he has. You are not here for him solely because he's a doctor or solely because... And she got her own money. Trust me. Quad has her own money. She can sustain and be just fine. Fuck what happened in the past. Fuck what Mariah said. Fuck what may have happened. We don't know. Don't care. Right now, 2018 in January, Quad can sustain herself and live decent. Okay? She can live decent and be fine and not be with Gregory if she didn't want to. Now, the thing is for you to make sure your husband knows that you don't want him for the thing. And she said it tonight. She was going into it. And this is where Mark actually led them to. And their discussion, I was like, now this was good. They got more, I think, out of their own little focus group because they said they hadn't been doing it for a while. They should never let it stop. They got more out of their focus group than I've seen people on 9 different reality shows get out of these so-called qualified psychologists. But that's what I'm seeing. I don't need to see no more of this crying and no more of this, he don't love me, doesn't make me feel loved. We didn't identify with a lot of what the problem is and what the withdrawal is. And unfortunately, the burden now falls on Lady Q to make sure that Gregory knows and feels she is not trying to use him. She is not, she is not trying to get over on him, that she actually loves him. And she's there because she wants to be there. And if they could do that, then I think they're going to be just fine. And I have no doubt in my mind they can do that. It was like that at one point, and it can get back to that. But I know, that feeling of somebody using you is horrible. It's horrible. It's like somebody just sticking pins into your skin. It just is not the shit. So yeah, unfortunately, the burden falls on her to make sure that he knows she wasn't using him, and that's that. So this is where we're gonna end this. Um, that's all I got out of this episode. We'll go, next week I'll be right back here and I'll catch you guys here. And there's going to be some more shit. Of course, there's going to be some more shit because old funky ass Mariah's still around. So surely we're going to run into some more shit and have to filter through some more of her bullshit. But I'll see you then. Later.